Welcome into the Heat Report by Chat Sports. I'm Nic Rohloff. We just witnessed an absolute masterclass from Erik Spoelstra and company as the Heat go in the road to Sacramento and defeat the Sacramento Kings for the second time this season. They go 2-0 against the Kings this year and have an absolute masterclass as they were down without Jimmy Butler, Nikola Jovic, as they served that one-game suspension due to the scuffle against the Pelicans. No Scary Terry, no Tyler Herro. It does not matter. And you can all thank it to this man right here. Jaime Jaquez Jr., the rookie from UCLA, was nothing short of spectacular. 26 points, 12 of 17 from the field, knocked down a tray ball as well, to go alongside 3 steals. Jaime did it all. And Jaquez really struggled, I felt like, over the past month and a half as his role was diminishing, coming off that groin injury. Because before the injury, he was cooking with absolute gas. He was doing everything perfectly. He was looking like an all-star caliber player, if we were going to be honest. He suffers the groin injury, and then people are wondering if his decline in numbers are because of his injury or if it's because of Herro coming back, Jimmy Butler returning from injury, and the Heat just being overall fully healthier. So it's good to see Jaquez step back into that role that he was serving prior to the injury, prior to the Heat getting fully healthy, and show that he can really do some special things when he is given more of a workload on that usage rate, and he was just terrific in the mid-range. We'll talk more about Jaquez, but I want to show the Rooks some love. He was probably the main reason why the Heat won tonight. Him and Bam Adebayo just duoed the hell out of the Kings, combining for 54 points. Spam those Triple J's down in the comment section. Show the Rooks some love. I could not be happier that he fell to 18th when the Heat drafted him in the 2023 NBA draft. Here's the thing, though, with Miami. Like, this team is just going to be so damn special if Jaquez is able to provide you with even 60% of this on a nightly basis. Like, I'm not going to go expect when Herro, Rozier, or Jimmy are back for him to go out and drop 26. But if he can give you that efficiency, I mean, 70% is egregious. But give me 50% shooting, because Jaquez, most of his shots come from elbow in, where he's taking either post fadeaways, he's taking floaters, or shots around the rim. So if you can give me 50% shooting and 10 points a night while providing me the defense and the wing versatility that he already does, well, now we're cooking with absolute gas here. And it just unlocks a different Heat team that we can see. When you have Jaquez coming off the bench as that athletic 3-and-D guy that can play the dunker spot on the baseline or cut on a timely spot when Jimmy gets to the free throw line, draws 2, or they find Bam in the pick and roll and he gets it and catches it at the free throw line or elbow extended, and he sees a double team. Oh, well, Jaime's cutting, find him on the baseline, which he did a couple times tonight, for a reverse layup. And then you can see at times where you can give him the ball at the end of the shot clock and let him go to work. Now, you're not going to have that happen often because, well, you're always going to have Bam, Jimmy, or Tyler on the floor, and you're likely going to default to those guys at the end of shot clock situations, end of quarter. But Jaime shows the ability that he can have that workload. It just unlocks a different Heat basketball team that can really go a long way. I'd also want to show some love to Bam Adebayo because, well, without the supporting cast of Terry, Tyler, and Jimmy, Bam knew it was going to be a big night on his shoulders where he was going to have to be asked to carry this team, and he answered the bell and really left no crumbs at all. 28 points, 10 boards, 7 assists. Took a 3 and almost went in, but he had 2 steals as well as a block that really closed out this game on Trey Lyles. The efficiency was key for Adebayo, though. 61% from the field, 11 of 18. When Bam is confident in himself offensively, it just is, I keep on phrasing this as unlock a different Heat team, because I truly think that is the right term to use, is when he feels good in himself to not just settle for jumpers, but get to the rim. He had a nice left hook in the post today over a smaller Kevin Huerter. He had a swooping right hook where he got fouled and the bucket and won when he worked on Trey Lyles. Like, we don't have to live in a world where you're only shooting 12 to 15-foot mid-range jumpers and that's considered your offensive bag that you've been working on. Getting to the rim outside of just lob alley-oops. Getting the ball at the block. Getting the block or the ball at the elbow, and then using your athleticism and quickness to get by opponents just by a half a step in getting to a lefty layup, righty layup, or stop, up and under, a little post move, that will just only further this Heat offense and really bring a special type of basketball to the 305 that, I tell you what, they have been playing so damn good where I'm starting to believe that another trip to the NBA Finals could absolutely be on the table come April, May, and June. More to talk about specifically with Delon Wright here in just a second. But let me show some love to our sponsor on today's show, and that is Factor Meals. Factor Meals, it's America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. Delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door that make eating better every day. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready for pre-prepared, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door that are be ready to heat it up and eaten in just 2 minutes. You'll have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, protein plus. They have it all. What are you waiting for? Get started today and have a feel-good week of meals ready to go. Factor is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast upscale options done easily. No prep, no mess meals. Factor meals are 100% ready to heat and eat. So there's no prepping, cooking, or cleanup needed. So head to factormeals.com/HeatChat50 and use code HeatChat50 to get 50% off. That is code HeatChat50 at factormeals.com/HeatChat50. Get that 50% off today. That link will be in the description and comments of today's video. How about Delon Wright making his Miami Heat debut today in the starting lineup after not playing on Friday against New Orleans and just balling the hell out? 13 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 for 5 from the field, a pair of triples in that third quarter, which really helped extend the Heat lead, which got to 20 at one point. And if Delon Wright's able to knock down catch and shoot threes, well, it's going to be hard to keep him out of this Miami Heat rotation. It's a very crowded room for Miami thus far, and when they're fully healthy, it's going to be interesting to see if Wright can carve out some minutes in this lineup. But when you're shorthanded and he's able to step in and provide the offense he did today, which no one expected, that would only be something that can further this Heat team even more. But I don't want to harp on his offense because the reason why he made such an impact in this game to me was on his defensive side of the floor. He had 2 steals and a block. I mean, he was everywhere. And I don't even think the 2 steals and a block really tell and paint the whole picture of Delon Wright's defensive night. Did he take the task of guarding De'Aaron Fox? No, that was assigned to Caleb Martin. But what he was doing was chasing around Kevin Huerter, switching on the Fox on certain situations when needed. And the way that he is able to anticipate what the opposing team is doing and the opposing player is doing in terms of making a move was unheralded, and it was the thing that popped out to me. Like, whether it be Malik Monk in this game specifically, Huerter, Keegan Murray at times, De'Aaron Fox, he knew almost exactly where the ball was going to be when those players started putting up a shot or finished making their move. I counted 3 to 4 or 5 times where a player was about to pick up their dribble for the Kings or was on their way up going for a shot, and Delon Wright was getting his hand on the ball, disrupting their timing, disrupting their motion, which ultimately led to a turnover or a forced pass out to where the Heat can reset the defense and force a more difficult shot. Sure, the offensive numbers will be glamorous for Delon Wright in his Miami Heat debut because you just never expected him to score 13 points and put up the efficiency that he did. But the defensive versatility he showed, and to me, if the Heat need to get a stop in the postseason or in late in the fourth quarter game, I have absolutely no issue pulling either Tyler Herro, pulling Terry Rozier, and putting this man in substitution because a lineup that consists of Delon Wright, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and maybe Jaime Jaquez Jr. or Haywood Highsmith filling out that 5-man lineup could be an absolute disruptive force for opposing teams. Call that the Clamps lineup. You call Delon Wright. Before we hop out of here, I do just got to show some final love to Kevin Love. And that was not a pun that I planned on saying, but you know what? We roll with it, and we're going to go with it. 19 points, 7 boards for the veteran. 42 is terrific tonight. The Heat outscored the Kings 36-19 in the third quarter, which gave them that 20-point lead heading into the final period. And I would say Kevin Love and Delon Wright were the main reasons why. If you're getting 19 points off the bench for Kevin Love, I mean, just think about how old Love is at this point. And he's still able to make a difference. Knocked down 2 threes, both of them coming in that third period. He got to the free throw line 2 or 3 times. 2 times for 2 free throws. Then he got an and one as well in the third quarter. He also had an and one in the first half. Like, he was a dominating force in the third period. He looked like 2012 Timberwolves Kevin Love. I'm not shitting you. He was dominating in the painted area offensively, on the glass, finishing at the rim. And one thing I really like that the Miami Heat did tonight that I would like to see the Heat do more of when everyone's fully healthy is they ran so many switches. And instead of Kevin Love hanging out the three-point line, which he does so often, he got inside. He got to the paint. And when they got the switch on it, whether it be a Kevin Huerter, a Davion Mitchell, a Malik Monk, he wasted no time in getting to his move in the post. One dribble back down into a right hook, or a sweeping move with his arms, which generated a foul call, which got him to the charity stripe. I was just so impressed with Kevin Love. And to think that Love has been able to have the impact he has had on this Miami Heat roster after being a person signed off the buyout market last year, like Delon Wright, this is not normal stuff. Buyout players normally do not have that big of an impact because they're on the buyout market for a reason. To see Kevin Love do what he has done over the past year to the day almost, and then even just show Delon Wright in that filling role of in the starting lineup do what he did, I cannot believe it. And I tell you what, this Heat front office just continues to strike gold. That will do it for today's show. Appreciate everyone who tuned in and listen to me talk some Heat basketball after this big win against the Kings. If you're watching on Tuesday, we'll be live again for a game against the Portland Trail Blazers. So check us out for a watch party against Joe Cronin's shitty Blazers as the Heat look to go for their 5th straight win and 6th straight on the road.